Hey there, wonderful viewers. Welcome to my channel. I'm Damali and I'm thrilled to have you here today for an exciting MySQL query tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to dive deep into some fundamental aspect of querying database. If you are new to SQL or just want to brush up on your skills, you are on the right place. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a solid understanding of MySQL select statement, the distinct keyword, the where clause, and the logical operators like. And if you're new here, please do me a favor and poke the subscribe button, ring the bell like you mean it. Let's send some positive vibes to the YouTube algorithm. Let's get started. All right, folks, once we have MySQL workbench open, let's click on the local host and it will prompt us to enter the password. And so let's go ahead and enter the password. And once we're done entering the password, let's go ahead and click OK, and that's it. We will be able to start working. All right, folks, let's get started. First, let's start with some steps for us to create any inquiry in our SQL. So let's start with some basic steps. So for us to be able to create any inquiry, first we have to create a database and create a table and also insert a table. First of all, let me explain this to you, everyone. The / asterisk and close here is a multi-line comment that we use to this is a multi-line comment that can span multiple lines. So basically it's used to give a comment in the code. Assuming we wanted to give a single comment, we will use hash to give a single comment. So hash is used for single comment, whilst we use the asterisk / asterisk to have a multiple line comment. So since we're giving a multiple line comment can be helpful for explaining the purpose of complex queries, documenting code, or leaving notes for yourself or other developers who might read the code in the future. Remember that comments are ignored by the MySQL query engine and do not impact the execution of your SQL statements. So let's go ahead and start creating our database. In order for us to create our database, let's click on this, create a new schema in the connected server. So we'll click this and we'll be able to name our new database. So let's name this MD&x. So let's name this MD&x underscore 23, and then we'll go ahead and apply, and then apply changes. Okay, and then we'll go apply and then finish. So there we go, our database is already created. So in order for us to be able to select our database, we will go ahead and use this query. So we'll go to be able to select, you say use MD&x underscore 23, and then we'll close it with this parenthesis, and when we run it here, it will select here. So now we have our database tables. We don't have any tables here, so now we can go ahead and start importing some data sets into our file. So before we import our tables or data sets into the MySQL database, I want to be able to explain what data set is. So data set is a structured collection of data that is organized and presented in a specific format for analysis, processing, or information retrieval. It can contain various types of data such as text, numbers, images, videos, or any other form of information. Datasets are commonly used in various fields, including statistics, machine learning, data analysis, and research. So just for your context, so let's go ahead and import our data set into. So you'll go ahead and right click it, and here you will see a table data import wizard. So we'll go ahead and click this, and it will take us there. So we'll go ahead and browse our file, and where I want it, it's my data set is in my desktop. So then I'll click data set. So this is what I wanted to import. So you can go ahead and click one and then click the control, and then so let's start importing one by one. So let's start with categories, so just we can practice. So categories, and you go open, and you go next, and you go next, and then you click import. So next, and then next, and then finish. And then when we refresh it right here, you'll be able to see our tables categories that we just imported. So let's go ahead and import all our tables. So we'll go ahead and click it again. Table data import wizard. I'll go next. I will leave the link to be able to download this data set in our comment below. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 data set that we've just imported into the MySQL workbench. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successfully imported into. So this is how you import it into your MySQL workbench to be able to analyze this data. Now that we are able to import our data, let's start with some statement. So let's first start with the select statement. So as you see, the hash here is used for a single comment. So I'm just putting this here just for explanation purpose. So this is our select statement. So what is select statement? Select statement is used to select data from a database, and the return is stored in a result table called the result set. So let's try an example first. Let's say select So we're telling SQL to select, and then this asterisk from categories, and then when we run it, you can see it here. So we have beverages, condiments, confections. You can see from the table that we have here. So also, for example, if we go ahead and tell SQL to, let's try it again, we can tell it to select from categories. We can say customers, and when we run it, you'll see this is the table for the customers that is right here. And we can give it an example for employees, and if we run it, you can see these are our employees, birth date, photo, and some notes. We can also say select customer So we can also say select customer name, the city from customers. So this table, and if we run it, as you can see, the customer name is here and then the city is here. So based on the requirement on a real work scenario, depending on what you wanted to find in the table, you can be able to select it. Now let's talk about the select distinct statement. The select distinct statement is used to return only distinct, let's say different value inside a table or column, and often contains many duplicate values, and sometimes you only want a list different distinct value. So what is a select distinct statement? So let me go ahead and explain this statement to you. So imagine you have a big box of colorful marbles, but some of them are the same color. Now if you want to know how many different colors of marbles you have without counting the same color twice, you will use a magic spell called select distinct. When you say select distinct color from marbles, the magic spell goes through all the marbles and show you only one of each color. It's like having a list of all unique colors in your box without any repeat. This helps you know exactly how many different colors you have without having to look at each marbles one by one. So now let's see how this works. So first, let's go ahead and say select select countries from customers, and if we run it, this is what we get. You see Germany, Mexico, UK, Sweden, Germany, France. So as you can see, there's the Mexico, and Mexico is being repeated. And then let's try another one using the distinct statement. Now let's go ahead and try using the distinct statement. So let's say select and if we run it, as you can see, it's not repeating the Mexico. It's distinct: Germany, Mexico, UK, and it's all unique, distinct. It's able to select them distinctively. Now let's talk about the where clause. So what is the where clause? Let me explain this to you. So the where clause is used to filter data. So imagine you have a big bag of candies and you want to find only the candies that are your favorite flavor. The where clause is like a special filter that you can use to tell the bag to show you only the candies that are cherry flavored. So when you say where flavor equals to cherry, it's like telling the bag, hey bag, please give me only the candy that tastes like cherry. The bag then goes through all the candies and give you only the ones that match your request. This is way you don't have to look at all the candies. You only get the ones you really want. So that's how you use the where clause. So let's practice this in a real time using our data set. So in order for us to practice, we can say so here we're telling select from customers where country is Mexico. And when we run it, you can see this is where customers are, and these are all where they are all from Mexico. So Anna, Trujillo and Peraldes is from Mexico. So this is how we select. It's based on the requirement from your job. They'll be able to ask you to select from customers from only Mexico, and you'll be able to analyze this. We can also say where country equals to Germany, and when we run it, you can see these are the people all from Germany. So this is how you use the where clause. We can also say select from customers where the customer ID, let's say the customer ID is equal to 1, and when we run it, it will be able to give us where the customer ID is number 1. Or if we put 2 and we run it, it will give us where the customer ID is 2. So hence this is how you do it. We use the where clause. So another thing that I would like to discuss is in conjunction with the where statement is the and, or, and not operators. So when do we use this? The and operator displays a record if all the conditions separated by the and are true. So if the statement is, all the statement is true, then we use and. Or, so when do we use or? The or operator displays a record if any of the conditions separated by or is true. And also when do we use not? The operator not displays a record if the condition is not true. So let's practice this in real time. So we can say so as you can see, we can say select from customers where country equals to Berlin, Germany, and the city is Berlin. And if we run it, you'll be able to see customer name that is from city Berlin and Germany. And based on this, we can be able to analyze. Maybe we want to see where they live, their address, their contact name, maybe their postal code. So based on the requirement, we'll be able to analyze this as a data analyst. Okay, so let's try with the or statement, or operator, sorry. So for the or operator, let's say select from customers where country, or let's say where city is, let's say the city is Berlin, or the city is, let's say, Munich. So as you can see, we're able to select from customers where city is Berlin or city is München. As you can see, München or Munich, whatever you want to pronounce it. So that's how it is. So let's try with a not operator. So we can say select from customers where not country equals to. So we're telling our MySQL that we want to select from customers, but we don't want any country from Mexico. So let's run it. So you can see we're able to select customers from different countries and cities, but we exclude Mexico. So that's how you use also the not operator. Now let's try to combine how to use combine the and, or, and not operator. Let's see how we can combine. So we can say select from customers where okay, so as you can see, in order for us to we can combine this and play with this as well. So we can say select from customers where country equals to Germany, and we want the city also should city Berlin, or the city could also be München. So we want either of those. So, and if you run it, you can see these are people of a country. We're able to set customers from Germany, and their city is either Berlin or München. So these are only two customers that we can find in our data. So based on the requirement, we can be able to execute this as well. So let's try another example. We can say select from customers where so we can also say select from customers where not country Germany and not country USA. So basically we're telling MySQL that we don't want, we want to select from customers, but we don't want countries from Germany and then the USA. And if we run it, you will be able to select from customers from all over the world that is in our data, but we will exclude the customers from Germany and USA. So based on the requirement, we can be able to do this as well. Thank you for joining me in this MySQL tutorial. I appreciate your time and engagement. In the next tutorial, we will cover vital MySQL concepts like insert into statement, no value, update statement, delete statement, select top class or limit. Stay tuned by subscribing and hitting the notification bell. Your support keeps quality content coming.